Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1, also known as the Blue Team in the Northwest, and ending with Team 2 in the Southeast, also known as the Red Team. Starting off with Team 1, we have on the Western side, it is the Tarnished One. He's playing as a UEF in Amethyst Purple, as almost 1,700 rating at 1699. To his northeast, we have in Royal Blue, it is Bantha Fodder in the middle for Team 1. He is a 1943 rated, the highest rated player on Team 1 and in the game overall, and he is going for a Cybran. And to the east, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Rayla Jr. playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1582 rated, again in Stitch Blue. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have one UEF, one Cybran, and one Seraphim. No Aeon Tech for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2 side of the player, we have in orange, the color orange, it is Zelby Lycomb. He's playing as the one and only Aeon of the game, as a 1761 rated. To his northeast in Chevy Crimson, it is the Cybran commander of Finks. He's an 1811 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2. And to his northeast, we have in Ruby Red, it is another Cybran. It is RNA. He's playing as a 1718 rated. Again, he is a Cybran in Ruby Red. So for Team 1 side of the map, there are two Cybrans and an Aeon. No UEF and no Seraphim Tech for Team 2. No Aeon Tech for Team 1, but that does mean all of the factions are at least present, with one player representing them in the game. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. Currently sitting at 17,000 mass. We'll round it up to 18,000, even though it's not really close to being rounded up. But just to make the math a little bit easier, at least in my brain, that makes it out to a little bit under 3,000 mass per player. Obviously worth writing home about. There is some very important clumps to get. We see a couple of 1,300s in the Southwest and the Northeast, as well as a central 1,300 as well. There are some, wreckage clumps worth grabbing on the eastern and northern sides, but the majority of the reclaim will be found towards the middle of the map. And speaking of the reclaim, of course, we cannot forget the mechs locations, which there are a lot of. It may not look like that initially, but there's a lot of mechs in the, the background for the players to grab. There's, speaking for Team 2, as an example, we have a 5-star mech position here, here, and here. So you could have even fit maybe 6 players on each team in these tiny little alcoves. There's a quad mech position on the western side, a little Congo line of mechs on the eastern side, as well as a quad and trimex position, and a trimex position in the middle. And can't forget this one over here for Zelby that is going after. So lots of expansionary mechs to go after immediately, and a hefty amount of mechs in the background as well. So players' eco in terms of their generated will skyrocket incredibly quickly. As we already see, we're 4.5 minutes in. Team 2 already at 130, 150. Team 1 at 100. Team 2 really getting out all of those engineers to just spam as fast as possible. In terms of player distribution, in terms of their comms, we do see 2 players from Team 2 heading northward, while 2 players from Team 1 are heading eastward. So it's going to be 2v2 in the east, with, I would assume, 1v1 in the southwest. We do see movement from Zelby in the west, or towards the west. We have a Tarnished One going for his T1 Pigeons. I would presume he'll be there shortly, but it does give his opponent of Zelby a little bit of an advantage with his comm on the front line and Tarnished One's not there. We see some drops and some units inbound from Team 2's RNA, trying to push in as far into Team 1's territory as possible and delay as many mechs from being built as possible. The less mechs that are built, that means the more eco that Team 2 has, or at least the less eco Team 1 has, which is beneficial for Team 2 and beneficial for Team 1 if they can do it the same to Team 2. As always, we do see those comms in the northeast getting sort of close to one another. It's not too close yet, but it is relatively close to be definitely the site of the first Convicom action in the game. In the southwest, really not competition would be the word, no real issues happening for Zelby right now. He had to deal with a couple of engineers trying to mooch on his reclaim, There are a couple of Team 1 facilities starting to be spammed up against him in the south, but realistically, he's already starting to push into that position. And Team 1 might be forced back pretty early in the game in that southwestern corner. We'll see what happens with that. We do see T2 started on board Bantha fighters come in the northeast. And frontline facilities in the northeastern corner of the map are being besieged by a bomber from Team 1. We'll see if that is enough to deal with that position or not. T2 started on board Pentafather's comm. Is progressing, I'd say, decently. Team 2 did not engage yet. So no comm action as of right now, but possibly it's going to happen between Finks of Team 2 and that'd be Rayla Jr. of Team 1. Still no comm for Team 1 yet for Tarnish, but he is moving in now, but I feel like it's a little bit too late at this point. This quad mix position will go down. Zelby will, of course, scoop up all of the reclaim and try to keep this position alive as long as possible. He has now gained 4 mexes, which in the early game is 8 mass a second, and it denies 8 mass a second for Team 1, which nets Team 2 16 mass if you think about it that way. We do see in the northeast that frontline position is essentially gone for Team 2. It was a nice attempt, but too far forward, no support on land or in the air, and it was going to die out eventually. But again, it offered a little bit of a distraction for Team 1 at a minimum, which buys Team 2 a little bit of time to maneuver and get better positioned in their more favored spots they want to grab. Finks kind of teetering on the edge of the range for Rayla's comm. Really wants to engage, but doesn't want to commit too much just yet. It could not go well for him, especially with Rayla sitting at 11.5k hit points versus his 10,000. That almost 2k advantage in hit points does make a difference, especially this early in the game. We do see Tarnish isn't going to continue his walk down south where Team 2 has grabbed it already. I don't think there's really coming back from that from now. We do see a nice little formation of a Team 1 PD emplacement. Nice little, looks like a flower almost. We'll see if he ends up building more of them or not, but I do like the little formation there nonetheless. In the east, it's still close, but they're not pulling the trigger as of yet. Tarnished one has a transport with engineers on board, looking to grab a little bit of reclaim on this northern side, just trying to get as much mass into his veins and push back Team 2. We do see some gunships inbound. This might help out. There are some interceptors, which are on the front line for Team 2 and for Team 1, and a drop was canceled. Either it had engineers on board. Looks like those are actually Aurora, so those were denied for Team 2. Don't know why he didn't just go this way and he went northward. He could have just gone straight across the little bit of land right here and call it a day. Gun speeding range started for RNA in the east, getting online sooner rather than later. Team 1 has a couple of T2 PD emplacements now. They are tickle cannons, but they are something, which is better than nothing. Transport dropping off some Team 1. Oh, we saw that already, dropping off the Team 1 land engineers. And, of course, going for now a land facility. I would assume he's going to spam up more engineers or maybe just help out on this eastern side and try to push back at least maybe this eastern half of the northern half of Team 2's side of the map. We do see interceptors engaging one another. Gunships wipe out a couple of mexes, but will in turn be wiped out themselves. Maybe interceptors still fighting one another. Stinger's not going after another mech, trying to do as much damage as possible. Another mech looks like it's going to be targeted. T2 TMD is coming online here for Team 2's Zelby. And wall sections just going to be spammed up to prevent any land incursions for now on that western side. T2 mech is targeted. The gunships will be killed off before that mech is denied. But they do leave a little bit of reclaim for their gunships, where they do kill off 10 mass a second worth of mexes, which is better than nothing, but Team 2 still has, I'd say, the better position in terms of mexes long term. And again, those mexes that they killed off are in Team 2's territory. It's not like Team 2 is going to lose those anytime soon. Gunships also divvied up to go northward, grabbing another set of mexes. That's 6 mass, so that makes it up to 16 mass a second. But again, in terms of the placement of those mexes, it is more of a delaying of the reconstruction or even just the upgrading than anything else. Which in ladder matches, delaying can make a big difference. A couple of Ilshis online for Team 1's Rayla. I don't think this northeastern position is going to look good anytime soon. All they have to do with the comm of Rayla has to push in. Yeah, there's a Team 1 PD emplacement, but it's already been damaged. And that's pretty much it. I don't really see this position coming back. And then maybe they can hook maneuver around and maybe surround RNA. RNA at Nano and Gun now on board. 13,500 hit points and sitting at 78 hit points a second regen. So that makes a huge difference. He's keeping his comm alive for as long as possible. We have gunships in the west going after engineers and whatnot, building walls. Looks like they'll deny at least the continued construction of the walls. There are some avenues for land units to push through without having to just ground fire on wall segments. We do see in the east the Ilshis have now pushed through the defenses. Team 2 essentially has to vacate whatever they can because they're going to lose that position. Team 2 looks like they're slowly pushing in with RNA's forces, but there's really, not a huge amount one way or the other. This little avenue right here is going to just be marred by T2PD action, essentially a conga line, and there's more Ilshis coming online. Rayla actually falls back just in case Team 2's RNA tries to cut him off, and the Ilshis will do more than enough work to deal with whatever's remaining on the eastern side for him. We do see that Finks is now pushing back. Once again, he was there. He's fallen back. Now he's back. We'll see what he ends up doing. T3 Air online for Team 2. T3 Air online for Team 1. T2 Air also online, of course, for Tarnished One and for Rayla. Team 2, do you also have T2 Air online in any other degree? Nope. Just the one T3 facility that is in air. We do see T3 land online, and T3 land not done. Almost is done at 82% and climbing. Ilshis have forced back most of the stuff over here. There's a couple of T1 AA emplacements. Nothing crazy for longer stints in the game, but a lot of these interceptors are just going to die by AA fire, which is never really good. But, it's not like they're losing a bunch of ASFs. That would be worse. A couple of Ilshis continue to push down this eastern side, and now we see RNA pushing against a couple of Ilshis of his own issues to deal with personally. A couple of Ilshis still here. This shouldn't be enough to force back the comm entirely. He does have some support nearby. Not a lot of it, though, and overcharging, killing off a couple of Ilshis at a time definitely helps with thinning out the DPS from Team 1. And on the western side, nothing else crazy happening, just that wall section that got stopped in terms of its construction. T2 gunships inbound from Tarnished One once again. And Ilshi's not able to stop the comm. Now he's on 3-star vet, and he's becoming stronger with every kill. Not looking good for any of the T2 units remaining. Gunships maybe starting to stack up for Team 1, maybe trying to snipe the comm. I highly doubt it. Guns started on board Finks' comm. If they get more of those, maybe, but Team 2 does have some ASFs online. At least I saw a couple of them running around. That should be more than enough to deal with those T2 gunships. But there's still an Ilshi pushing forward. Ilshi does get stopped by a Rhino. But all this stuff on the eastern side now is gone for Team 2. Transport with a couple of Othams on board. You need to land that transport immediately. It's going to get shot down sooner rather than later. Othams do land. And that is going to be a concern for Team 2. Gunships, bombers, something needs to be thrown at that thing because on land there's really nothing that can stop this. Finks is over here. He is going for guns, so he should be fine for now. He does have the comm of RNA to support him, and still no comm-v-comm action has happened as of yet at almost 15 minutes on the clock. Again, mainly driven by the map. Missile outbound, speaking of which, in the western side for Team 2, Zelby pumping out a couple of those Serpentine missiles that like to wave around, or wiggle around, I should say, in the air. There is a Team D emplacement here that does save that T2 mechs, and that should be it. They might go after that radar system. It might be out of range of the T2. We have a couple of Othams inbound going for RNA's comm. And Finks is almost done with his gun upgrade, and now we have Othams continue to push. Brick is inbound to intercept. 1 brick versus 3 Othams. That's only going to favor Team 1. More bricks are going to come online, of course. It's just going to be a war of attrition situation going down there. Finks does, again, finish that gun upgrade, and all of these mexes now are eliminated. Team 2 still in the lead for Eco, 540 to 520, but not a huge lead, and definitely for Team 2 to watch out for, because as Team 1 starts to cannibalize and grab all of these mexes, that eco will skyrocket in their favor. Map control sits about 50-50, but you have to, of course, think about how the map is cut down. It's cut down the middle of the diagonal. So Team 2 has 4 mexes that Team 1, quote-unquote, should have. Oh, a couple more, but that core mex, set of mexes right there. But Team 2 is starting to grab more mexes on this eastern side, so it's starting to level out in terms of who has what where. And those Ilshis actually still pushing in. Autumn's continuing to be hunted down by now Renegades, and now Mexes are being shot at and eliminated for Team 2's RNA. He has some Harbinger assistance from Zelby, and transport inbound from Finks to try to drop on top of the Autumns and deal with them himself. Another T2 Mex is going to go down. Lots of dead Mexes for RNA. He's dropping to 28 hit points, not hit points a second, 28 mass per second. Not good count. He can't really build much of anything with that. And those Renegades will deal with the last Autumn from Team 1. Team 1's Rayla has done a great job of just pushing Team 2 out of this eastern side, and is continuing to do so. Essentially, Team 2 is forced back essentially to this position where RNA is at. And not a terrible one. Definitely has to watch out for any sort of units that may be able to walk along the, or not around, over the mountains. Those are the words I was looking for. On the western side, the wall section hasn't been breached yet that I've noticed, and I don't think it will anytime soon. Team 1, T3 Air also online for Tarnished One, so 2 air players for Team 1, maybe a third, but he's still pumping out Natha, so probably not. Team 2, T2 Air online, maybe going to go for T3 for Zelby, but at this stage, maybe not. But having 2 air players could very drastically shift things in Team 1's favor. We do have a Harbinger dropped off, killing out 4 Mexes. Looks like more Mexes are in its warpath, so that's never good. There's nothing really on Team 1's side of the map to deal with that for now. That will be a dead couple of Mexes before Team 1 can respond. If they're paying attention, gunships being wiped out by ASF and interceptors, and not the fighter bombers inbound for RNA's comm. So no comm become action yet, but the comm is being damaged, drops him into the yellow. He does have, again, veterancy, which gives him more regen, but also that nano, that means he's at 102 per second, which will keep him alive a lot longer than he was earlier with just the, random, not random, but the standard nano upgrade. But Finks control Ks, nothing was around him there. And that's that there. I guess he had some comments out the door, but that's about it. There was nothing near him to kill him off. So he just control K. Don't know if he left the chat or not. We'll see. He's still here for now, so we'll see if he stays here. But not a kill by any means, but it is a 3v2 in Team 1's favor. What that does do, however, is RNA was hurting pretty bad for eco, and now he's sitting at 350. And the ecos for both of those players for Team 2 are about the same. Team 1, a little bit behind Team 2 totally, but nothing terrible behind. And there's lots of conversations in chat between Finks and it looks like Banthabot is the one that's responding. Couple of Autumns down from the north. Once again, we do see more bricks starting to form. A little mobile front line. RNA back up to full HP, almost like that not the fighter bomber run just did absolutely nothing to his health. And I thought I saw more inbound. That would have been funny, but no, there are no more Nothas inbound for now. T3 Air, not T3 Air online as of yet. Looks like that Harbinger was dealt with eventually. Engineers going out to rebuild. But there is another Harbinger, speaking of which, dropped off. Team 1 really needs to build more AA emplacements. This quad mix position is down. Those mexes are down. They just can't seem to keep what they've gained. And Team 2, it's still staying at about 50 or so mass in Team 2's favor. Transport with Zelby's comm. Don't know why he got on the transport. It does look like he got hit, so I don't know what happened earlier. Maybe some bombers or units dropped off or something, but looks like he wants to be safer at his main base. I don't blame him, because if he dies or his teammate of RNAs dies, that is 66% of the APM gone for Team 2, so they have to be very careful. It's not like a 6v6 where the percentages aren't as bad, but now we're saying Team 2 and Team 1 need to be very particular about where their comms are, how long they're there, because it could make a big difference. Again, the base does go to somebody else if you die, but eventually it's going to be overwhelming, and we've seen time and time again 3v1s, sometimes 3v2s, that one player or those two players are going to get overwhelmed, not incredibly quickly, but eventually it just becomes death by 1,000 cuts, and there's only so much bleeding you can affect. Tons of engineers on the front line for Team 1 in the east over here. Reclaim's a little bit in favor of Team 1, not terribly in their favor though, but look at them all just scurrying around the map, trying to just scavenge whatever they can in this very badly placed canyon of a desert or whatever you want to call this environment. We have a little bit of an air fight. Only interceptors, though. T2 gunships are going to get found out and killed off incredibly quickly. I do love the attempt, but it doesn't really work very well. But most of the reclaim does sit in the mountains, which means it won't be scooped up by Team 2. So there is that to consider. It's not as bad as it flying off the playable space and into the void ocean, but it's going to be more annoying to try to get that reclaim. Team 1, T3. Nope, no T3 arrow online yet for not Tarnish one, but for Rayla. Focusing on land. No T3 land outbound from Tarnish. I feel like that's a missed opportunity there. The only one that can build Percy's in the game. I feel like he should be building more of that. T2. Oh, no, he is going for T3. Okay, it's just not where I thought it should be or usually is. And he is getting some gunships stacked up. That a little bit concerning. Maybe gunships were what was used against Zelby's Calm. Maybe, but still, he took some hits. He didn't like that feeling and decided to flee. We do see transport with a couple of units inbound. It does get found out by Team 2. So, yeah, Team 2. And transport either needs to drop off or do something, but it's going into the corner of the map. Transport gets found out way too early for that transport to drop off. And that is the end of that attempt. I do love that Rayla is really trying to use the mountains to their advantage and trying to go along the edge of the map and not be spotted. But Team 2 has essentially been very wary of that engagement point, and they've dealt with that by getting some radar systems online. I thought I saw a T3. Oh, yep, there it is right there in the middle of the map, pretty much. Love to see that. Does Team 1 have one online? No, they do not. At least not that I have found. So that is a disadvantage and a missed opportunity for Team 1. Bricks holding back the Othams, and I think I saw a sniper bot in there too. Yep. And that army is getting a little bit too concerning for Team 1. If they keep pushing in like this, I know they're trying to just keep the pressure on. It could backfire. Gunships wiped out, so the air for Team 2's RNA is on point, but ASFs are inbound, and it definitely looks like it's favoring one way or the other. There is a little bit of flak and some T3 mobile AA underneath this engagement, but in terms of numbers, Team 1's going to win that fight hand over fist. And there is the air win for Team 1. Gunships are inbound. There's still flak here and whatnot, so I don't understand continuing this vector. Yeah, it looks like he's going to shift them eastward. Probably a better idea there. Team 1's Bantha fodder is on 70, so he's at air dominance territories, not on supremacy or we own air yet, but is working there. T2 mechs is now gone. I feel like these could be sent northward. There's some Team 1, T3, T2 kind of flak mixed in there and whatnot. ASF's gearing up for another attack from Team 1's air. We do see a Colossus being built. So he's actually going to send that northward. This is the front to worry about, is what he's thinking. This western front's just here. It just exists for now until Team 1 pokes and prods that vector more. T3 mechs. Ooh, that's not going to go well. Losing hit points incredibly quickly. Will it stay? Looks like the gunships will go for the kill on the T3 mechs. That's 27 mass a second. Team 2 loses out on the gunships. Are wiped out before the interceptors could intercept them. But it's still an air win for Team 1. Team 1 is really aggressively using their air as much as possible. They will lose a decent chunk of the remaining ASFs, however, as they flee northwards. That will be a loss there. But at a minimum, they did take some advantage of the air when they did have it. So, it's better to... I don't know, it's better to need it and not have it, not even it, that kind of thing. I completely butchered that phrase. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. But what good does it do you if you have it and you never use it, even though you could use it? There's that point of logic as well. We do see a couple of ASFs online for Team 2's Zelby. Maybe those were transferred over. It looks like they're Cybran, so it looks like they were. That mech is not dead. 800 mass a second. They're being hunted by T3 mobile units. This T2 mech is being upgraded to T3. That might even be worse. Engineers are not going to stop its upgrade. Killing off the engineers will not stop its upgrade process. But the mechs was wiped out nonetheless. So 2 T3 mechs that are heavily damaged but are not dead. That is still 27 mass a second that Team 2 is getting. Gunships still raiding all around the map. Team 1 just will not stop raiding. It's just can't stop, won't stop, can't stop, won't stop. You got to keep going for it. And I do like the constant aggression. Of course, it does leave a lot of mass on the map for Team 2 to scoop up, but In this case, that is the Omni Omni radar gone, as well as 3 T2 mexes, 81 mass a second gone. Team 2's lead has now been stripped away from them, and Team 1 is now in the lead, partially driven by a little bit of map control, but partially just the constant raiding just will not stop. Partially driven by the APM, but also just because they have 2 air players, technically 3 if you count the one from Rayla. Team 2 has 1.5 if you count the half at T2 for Zelby. But to be fair, that air player for Team 2 does have double base, to be fair, but also Zelby is essentially the same amount of eco, so it evens out. It evens out. They could have kind of divvied things up a little bit more maybe, but looks like nothing was really transferred over at a first glance. Lots of mobile units in terms of the mobile AA prowling around. Lots of bronze swords coming online for the UEA player of Tarnished. Not a lot of Percys. I see a couple of Percys, couple of Titans, but nothing too crazy on land. The GC now moving westward. This GC transferred over to RNA. There is a chicken over here. There is sniper bots incredibly far forward for him. I feel like he should push those back just a tiny smidgen. Not worth going after those engineers, but the sniper is most likely going after. GC's taking some hits. Some bricks are taking some hits. And the chicken may or may not engage. A fat boy would be definitely interesting over on this eastern side. Western side, I don't think it would matter that much. Looks like wall sections are being shot at. That's always fun to watch. They're like, clear the road. We got stuff inbound. Another GC is online. That's number 3 for Zelby. And is there another chicken coming online for Team 1's Rayla? No, not right now. SMD coming online for Team 1. Love to see it. Chicken is inbound. GC is down. So Chicken's Ion Storm will not activate just yet. It wants to walk a little bit forward. That's not too bad in terms of range to those bricks, but the Ion Storm will activate. The bricks will fall back. This is important. Team 2 and Team 1, they both want that reclaim field, but it's closer to Team 2 side. So they're probably going to get it. And yes, units are traversing the little mountainside here. Team 2 used it, and now Team 1 are using it. That is not looking good. There's only AA here. There's no PD or anything else. Bricks and other units inbound, but that's not going to be soon enough to stop the column of Othams. Looks like some of them are getting lost in the mountains, though. And some of them aren't even actually hitting targets because they're hitting the environment or whatever. So might be enough time for Team 2 to mount a response, but now we have another attack. Team 1 just will not let up. There's no, hey, let's build some eco. Hey, let's relax. Hey, let's build. No, it's like go, 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 and go. And then go again. We have 2 GCs inbound from the west for Team 2's Zelby. Nothing is going to stop that push anytime soon. Needs a ton of gunships or literally anything else. Ooh, that doesn't look good for Team 2. Team 1's Western UEA player is definitely the, I'm going to just use my air units and crush you with air-to-ground weaponry, while the main air player of Bantha Fodder is just, I'm going to control air with all my ASFs. The Othams just mimicking what they've done before. It's just rhyming over here on this eastern side. Another attack. We've had Ilshis do this. We've had Awesomes do this. Now we've had Othams do this again. It's the 3rd time that this eastern side is being ravaged by T2 or T3 units. Strap bombers inbound, taking out, looks like all of the mobile AA. Lovely choice there in targets. You shoot or kill the stuff that's shooting at you first, and then you shoot at everything else. Lovely. This attack will be stopped pretty quickly. Those GCs will be forced back. Some of the strats are being killed off, though, but at the bare minimum, most of, if not all of the AA is gone. And we have gunships inbound from Rayla. Whalers inbound, and that's going to really drive the point home of, you don't go this way no more. No. This is the main attack vector, and that's all that's going on. We do see eastern side over here. Otham still being punished by Zeus. Zeus inbound from Team 2. We have a GC running around. Don't know what's going on with that. Looks like a couple of the T3 air facilities and pigeons were hit for something. I don't know what killed them off, but something did. We have Othams down from the north once again, with just constant bleeding going down for Team 2. And we have air fight. Does not go well for Team 2 as well. Most of the strats and the gunships were wiped out. There's 1 or 2, looks like maybe 1 remaining, so not a lot of firepower left. But one GC is decently damaged. He's dropped into the mid-yellows. And Autumns are now been dealt with. ASF's coming in to clean the skies up of all the Zeus, at least most of them. And that air power has been severely diminished. Artillery has been started. Team 2 Selby's like, I'm done. I'm not dealing with this nonsense anymore in terms of land units. I'm just doing artillery. I'm calling it a day. He's fed up with it. We have Team 1 at 1.9, Team 2 at 1.1. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game at 31-ish minutes. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't, because, again, why not at this point? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate it. I love when number go up. Number go up make me very just thankful for all of the time and attention you give to the videos. And I saw a comment from somebody, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that said, after watching so many of my casts, he finally got recommended my very first one. So I thought that was funny. It took him I don't know how many videos to be like, yes, the first one that I ever made that is, I look back and go, this is cringe, and this is cringe, and this is cringy. I'm so glad that it's taken a lot of your support to help me be like, you should do this better, and this is how you should do this, and you should add this, and hey, what about this idea? And now I add, kiss of death cams in my videos, which I would have never thought of if it wasn't for any of you. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. I don't know what else to say after that. We do see a megalith over here on the eastern side. We have a decent amount of T2 PD, T2 artillery now being built, shield base coming online. We have chicken and monkey, and GC is falling back. It looks like the chicken reclaim was scooped up by somebody. The Colossus was still there, which means I would assume Team 1 scooped that up in terms of reclaim. Yep, I would assume Team 1 scooped that up. Tons of units now flooding in the western side. I thought this attack was stopped, but there's a lot of asylums here. There's T3 units now falling back. Team 1 needs to mount a defense for this. There's strap armors inbound, but there's not enough. There's a ton of T3 AA under there. We have 8 plus. Actually, there's not as much flak as I thought. So that doesn't. Actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be for Team 1 in terms of the air, but it's going to take a little bit of time to mount a defense for that. We have Perseus and Titans mixed in here. It does help out. There's a tiny bit of a mountain in the way, so the GC is going to take a second to go around. But the T3 land headquarters is right here, which means Tarnished is going to lose access to T3 land take here shortly. He's trying to get something online. You are building a Maver, good sir. 33 minutes on the clock. Game Ender has made its appearance because why not? He's like, well, Team 2's doing it, and it's done. Team 2's artillery is done. So he's like, well, if I'm going to do it, might as well do it. Go big or go home, I guess. And that's the biggest you can go in this game, quite literally. And that's at 25%. He needs to watch out because those GCs are inbound, and they're not going to stop. At least I wouldn't stop if I was LB. Go for the base as soon as you can, as hard as you can. Chicken is down. Ion Storm barely. Just make him go right. Make him go right. Oh, the GC just not in range. That Ion Storm would have cooked that Colossus alive, but just a little bit to the west, unfortunately. Artillery raining in on Team 1's position. Looks like they're targeting, I would assume, the air grid, but I don't know what they're targeting. Looks like they're spamming out gunships. T2 Stinger gunships being spammed up as quickly as possible. Corsairs, a whole host of them inbound from Team 1's Bantha fought. It looks like they've almost killed off one GC, but he just will not die. And those units are inbound. Yep, they're going to keep going northward. That artillery will probably be killed off by a GC. That's never fun. And the artillery is raining in on Team 1's main air grid. Artillery started soon in the east for Team 1's Rayla. Nothing else. Oh, no, artillery is started for Team 1's Panther. Just build the Game Ender or something. Don't build all 3 individual artillery pieces. Just build one. I get wanting to diversify and spread everything out and whatnot. I get that. But why? Or at least abandon the Mavor project and go for the smaller T3 artilleries. Ooh, that emissary. That's going to hurt. Takes out a chunk of the air grid there. Crab is inbound. Corsairs really want that GC dead. And that GC still, there it is, finally dies. Tarnished. We have 35 minutes on the clock. His base is being assailed by Harbingers and GC. We have Stingers inbound from him. The Mavor will be canceled. Tarnish has to move. He might be the first departure or the first kill of the game. And Ravagers are being focused down. Tarnish is right there. We have Zelby's GC not focusing him down. Tarnished has no upgrades on board. Oh, there goes his base. Not looking good for Team 1's Western Front. And Crab's still hunting down that GC. Somehow Tarnished is not dead yet. Surprised that he's not dead, but they don't want to probably give his eco to somebody else. And 2,000 hit points and falling. He might. 1,300 hit points. He might survive this. 700 hit points. Oh, no, he's gone. There he goes. And the air grid to the east or right of that position is gone. So Team 1 loses a player and an air grid, at least a portion of it. And a Mava that was already 25% done. Eastern side, eastern side not looking too crazy. Definitely more of the same. This Western Front, though, for Zelby has proved very fruitful. That Mavor was canceled. The player for Team 1 was dead, or it is dead. And that is not looking good. I did not transfer that back over to Eco. Apologies. Team 1 at 1.7 now. Team 2 at 1.4. And this game is trending in a very much different direction than it was earlier. It took, 5 minutes to flip that around almost? 4 minutes to flip that around? That was incredibly quickly. Second artillery piece online. Team 1 has none. Nuke also online and half loaded already. Oof, that's not good. Team 1 does have an SMD. It is being shot at soon. Well, not soon. It will be killed off soon by that artillery piece from Team 2. It needs to get 1,000 more shields around that thing. I think that's Team 1's only shielding. Oh, sorry, shielding. Only SMD. Yeah, there's no backup. Pings are going down for the SMD. Here comes the shot. Is it going to be soon enough? Shield pops online. Hits the ASF instead. ASF shielding from the artillery shots. Lucky there. I think it would have hit the SMD. But second shot is inbound from Team 2. Artillery is now done for Team 1. There it is. Second one going up pretty quickly. I feel like this one might have either just finished or I feel like it's not super old. But anyway, this artillery piece for Team 1's Rayla is almost done as well. And the artillery from Team 1 is targeting this emissary. I feel like this one will be better. It only has one shielding. And Megawit's still pushing. The fact that players can comment and still play is incredible to me because there's so much going on. I'm like, I had to do this thing. The other thing, I can't talk right now. Go in voice chat or something. I can't. I can't text. An SMD shielding is down. All it's going to take is that one nuke. Ooh, is that nuke loaded? Yes, it is. Is that SMD dead? Not yet. Not looking good. Need to get more shielding on that thing. We have Harmagers now surrounding a crab. That's never fun over there. T2PD being built very, very quickly. Shots are inbound. Oh, they're not dead. Then the shielding's going to pop online here shortly. Ooh, it's going to be close. Shots are inbound, but they miss. Ooh, that is very, very close. And Disruptor for Team 1's Bantafado is almost done, at least the second one. The artillery piece for Rayla is done. And I would assume they're targeting the same thing. At least you would hope they are. This is the biggest concern for Team 1 right now. If Team 2 can wipe out that SMD, which, again, Caster's curious if I say it, it's probably going to happen. Oh, no, it's not there just yet, but it's close. Ooh, pins and needles, pins and needles. Oh, the shots are coming in a little low, but they might be hitting the generator. Oh, no, that's a direct impact almost. The SMD is down. Where's the nuke launch from Team 2? It's not there. But Scathis, second game winner, has made its appearance. There it is. There it is. There's the nuke launch. Ooh, that air grid for Team 1's not going to look good here shortly. There it is, if that's what they target. Team 1 is going to target the artillery pieces, and there's no SMD nearby. There's one over there. That's out of. That's not even loaded, so it doesn't even matter. And Team 1 does not have a backup. You always have to have a backup SMD. Always, always, always. You might as well move the artillery pieces at that point. Target something else. Team 1's still going to have this one right there. And this one's still alive. This one's still alive. Third one being done. We have Harmagers just sitting down there. Power outages for Team 2. That's never good. Well, at least for RNA. We have Monkey Lord, not Monkey Lords, we have Megaliths and whatnot over there. Nuke is inbound. There goes Kaboom! Oh, sorry, excuse me. Kaboom! There it is, a lot better. There is a huge amount of firepower wiped out for Team 1. Eco's roughly the same now. Not looking good for Team 1 in terms of the artillery game. No backup SMD if there's a second nuke loaded, which there soon will be. 202,000 mass killed. Incredible amount of mass killed for that nuke. Worth the price of admission there. But one artillery piece finally killed off for Team 2, which means now it's a 1-to-1 game. We have this one from Zelby that is 25% done. And the fight's about even now. If Team 1's building a second one, which they are not. Star Chicken says, Bantha fodder. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. SMD targeted and eliminated. I feel like that one was not online for as long as the other one was. But that is that. Team 1 does have an SMD over here. Not loaded, but it is there at least. 2 chickens are not going to be enough to stop this push from Team 2, just firepower-wise for the GCs and the Megaliths. That chicken doesn't even get anywhere near close to any of those experimentals. And that artillery still online. Team 1's building more crabs down here. Looks like they're sending them southward. Zelby doesn't have anything on the western front in terms of experimentals, just groups of units hanging out. Scathis just being built by one engineer. Nuke is almost done and it will fire. And I wonder where it's going. I mean, I have the icon to tell me where it's going, but I kind of already knew that even before. Shields are down. That's never good. Nuke is going to launch here shortly. SMD is rebuilt, but it's going to be way more time to load than the nuke is going to need time to finish. There's the nuke, speaking of which. And that's going to land. That second nuke will not necessarily be the last nail in Team 1's coffin, but it will hurt. Look, the nuke is not going to be shot down by that SMD. Way too late on building that. Now that one SMD killed off, or essentially allowed the deaths of 3 artillery pieces. Here comes the nuke and makes that curve, and there it is. 3rd artillery piece going to die to nuke. Kaboom! And wipes out 4 mexes here, another couple of mexes there. Team 1's eco takes another hit. That's at least 100 mass that Team 1 loses out on per second. 5, if those were T3 single ring mexes, I think that's 125 plus 10, 135 mass per second. Another chicken is down. Team 2 is just steamrolling this eastern front, and it's looking very sparsely populated on that eastern side for Team 1. Not only just for experimentals, but just units in general. Team 1 just does not have anything left in the magazine to fire at Team 2. They do have this line of attack this way. It's going to take a little bit of time to get there. I don't know. We have another Megalith inbound. Monkey Lord assisting it as well. We have a second artillery piece now online. And we'll see what Team 2 does. But Rayla, control case. He says GG's. And he dies on the north side of the map. That's where he ends up control K-ing it. So it's now a 2v1. For the first time in the game, Team 2 is in the lead. And for a period of time, I thought Team 2 was just going to get steamrolled by Team 1's APM and all the everything else. But they have clawed their way back and have done an incredible good job of pushing Team 1 back. And the artillery is brutal. Laser started for RNA because why not? It looks like a couple of mexes were... a couple of hives were killed off. Maybe there was an attempt for that liberated, but 340,000 mass. That's 170,000 mass for 2 nukes for each nuke, for 2 nukes in total. That is an incredible average for those nukes. I mean, just incredible. More mass than a game ender is what they've killed off, which is just insane. I mean, the price of a game ender more mass than that. Artillery splitting up a little bit of the targets to get maximum coverage. It looks like that crab has to be brought back. Another one coming online. And GC will probably die here shortly. There's still that one here. There's that one inbound with all of its support nearby. Team 1 still has something on the front lines. At least this is their now new front line. And we have... well, that's a lot of bombers. There are T1s. Those are a lot. GC falling back. This is definitely the better position to defend than up there, especially with the second one coming online here shortly. Looks like he's looking for more power. Still, Scathus is up at 50% now, so there's that. But Colossus gets stopped. Harbinger trying to do what they can, but that's not going to do much. Team 1, 1.5. Team 2, 1.4k eco, but that eco is dropping power. Oh, that Mex goes down. That's another, 27 plus mass a second. Team 1 loses, and bombers are going to be just ripped apart in the skies by those Geminis. Now that group of bombers is still alive. That Megalith is still somehow, in the high yellows. And engineer is fleeing, trying to build a second GC. That's ambitious. That's not going to finish. Those units are inbound shortly. It's he's like, I need more power. I need more power. Why does he need more power? That's why. That's why. Yeah. That's why he needs more power. That makes sense. Another artillery piece coming. Why do you need another one? Just build the Scathus over here. It's almost in the green at this point anyways. We have GC 2 megaliths versus 2 megaliths. Oh my goodness, the megaliths. This one's now done. That's now 3 SMD being loaded incredibly quickly. It is now loaded. And the base for Team 1, their main bases are just wiped. Not looking good at this point. Monkey Lord inbound. Yeah, this GC project definitely ambitious. Lovely. No, actually, no, maybe not. Those hit points are going up very quickly. The engineers are being focused. Oh, just briefly, you got to kill off those engineers more. Oh, the Monkey Lord. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, he goes to target the engineers. Oh, it's not going to be enough. That GC will finish. I thought it was ambitious, but it was not. It was well sounded. Did it take a lot of damage while it was being built, though? But still, 2 GCs versus 1 is going to be way better. That Monkey Lord is down now, and it's now just going to be 2 GCs and 2 megas. And 1 mega is down. Second mega is down. Maybe that was the earlier one. This one's now online. 1 mega remains for team. Oh, that's going to hurt. Oh, it doesn't look like they actually hit, but it did target the P-Gens, though. That's going to hurt. Shields around the SMD are down. Bantha fodder still holding on. The artillery is now oppressive for Team 2. Now we have gunship raids for Team 2. We have AA trying to be built, but being denied as it's being built. That's never fun. And Team 2 just looking obviously a lot more solid than Team 1. This is their last attack vector, but I mean, all it's going to take is maybe 2 GCs to gum up the works, and that's going to be it. ASF's inbound to try to block the bombers. What's going to be the remaining ASF though for Team 1? 2 megas versus 1 mega. I mean, that's only going to come down to the numbers at that point. There is a GC running around, killing off a ton of stuff up there, being tickled to death. Look at those hit points drop. He's at 5 veterancy, 5-star veterancy on board that GC. He's dropping hit points thousands at a time. I'll just blow up the P-Gen. We'll use some volatile damage to that. Oh, there is an SMD. Oh, the P-Gens will definitely be killed off by the crash damage. Or the Scathus artillery from Team 2. That also works too. Don't need a GC when you have the watering can firing stuff at you. Shields, I don't think he has. Oh, yeah. This doesn't have power. Yeah, that's not good. And that's probably going to be game right there. SMD still alive, but just barely. Bantha fodder did take a couple of hits there, but he's fine for now. Nuke outbound. Thought they killed off. Oh, no, they're killing all this off. Whatever. Oh, there's a lot of hives, lots of P-Gens. They're going to wipe that out immediately. They're going to say, no, not going to happen. And are those some ASS being shot out of the sky by Scathus? That's what it looked like. Has to be careful. That's a P-Gen that's going to go up. Don't stand next to that. No, bad. Don't stand next to that. You're going to blow up because of that. Don't do that. And airfight going to happen. Nuke lands. Kaboom! Wipes out a bunch of hives and P-Gens, but you know, that's engineering power and stuff that's gone, or build power. All those P-Gens go down. He gets out of range of that. That's essentially going to be it there. And those 2 GCs are here now, and that's going to be enough. Another artillery piece. Number 4 online, technically if you count the Scathus, but number 4 built by Zelby. This is the only one that died right here. Yeah, that's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to matter. Megalith is down. Will Bantha Fodder control K? Will he depart? Will he die by artillery? We'll see. But it, for a while, was going Team 1's way. But that one push just really discombobulated Team 1. And that was really all it took. And that was set Team 2 up for success. Obviously, the artillery also helped. The emissaries, not the Scathas. Scathas is a nice little flare, but it's nothing else in terms of meaningful impact on the game kind of thing. Looks like maybe Team 2 has targeted the comms specifically. GG's out in the chat. Question mark. GG's. 50 minutes now on the clock. He's still walking south. He's building more megas. Just all the megas. All of the megas. PG, Mass FAF, farms being targeted. Is that... Keeps looks like artillery hitting air unit. But, you know, it's not going to matter at this point. Bricks just rampaging around, killing off a crab over there. GG. Doesn't look like he probably will die to artillery at this rate. 51 minutes on the clock. Still not departing yet. I don't know if he's trying to recall. I have no idea what he's doing. He's being hit by artillery now. Oof, he's in the yellow now. Will he die by... Team 2 has him just zeroed in. We let you win by... Yeah, sure. And he looks like he departs finally. Last little quip in there. And Team 2 wins the game 51-51. Hey, that's a good number to end on. MVP for me, I think Zelby gets MVP for me in this game. His combined artillery plus the huge push with those 2 GCs and supported units just ripped apart a base, killed off a player, and not necessarily ripped off the or ripped apart the air grid, but did significant damage to this western front. And then the artillery came in after a while, finally killed off this SMD. And I think if that SMD did not fall and Team 1 got maybe a third artillery piece, which they were about to soon, this position would not have been built up the way it would, and then the nuke would have been targeted next, and that probably would have been game there. So I think the push plus the SMD being taken down by Zelby, those were the 2 most important moves. RNA did a good job holding off on the eastern side. You know, a GC over there being handed off by Zelby, but pretty much I do think it was Zelby really pushing this game forward, so I'll give him the MVP for me. Let me know if I'm right, wrong, kind of right, kind of wrong down in the comments. Thank you so much for watching to the very end of the video, and I will see all of you in the next one.